Should be good to go. All right, happy Monday. We're on the floor today. We've been doing some good standing. Can you just put Facebook in the background? So we are going to start on our backs and do some beautiful stretching and hip releasing today. We'll be all the way on the back. Come all the way down on your mat, on the carpet, on the towel. I guess on your bed, that could work too. And what we're going to do is first find neutral spine. So neutral spine is where the pelvis, the pelvic bones and the pubic bone are on the same plane. The pubic bone, you don't want lower than the pelvis. You don't want it higher than the pelvis right now. We're just going to keep it neutral for the stretches that we're going to do. That will keep that spine in its own natural placement. I don't ever tell you to push your back flat to the floor. That's just overstretching. We already have too much over-rounding going on from our sitting lifestyle. And that gets us really tight through here. So today we're going to help release that, and we're going to do some very good gentle stretches to start. So we're going to bring the heels just a little bit closer to the glutes, to the bottom, and the feet are hip distance apart. The first movement will be gently just dropping the legs over to one side. So as you drop them, notice the feet are not stacking on top of each other. One leg is open, the other's out. If your arms are relaxed by the side, you're going to feel the stretch go all the way up through the shoulder, through the chest, and that's the gentle movement. So we're just going to put some energy at the knees. So we're going to lengthen through that long bone, the femur, and then we're going to come back to center. We lead everything from our center. So imagine you have little diamonds scooped up at your belly, and you always lead from your center. And we're just dropping the legs over to the other side, and that's going to stretch. We're just going to put a little bit of activation through the front of that leg and a little bit of activation through the glutes to get that nice stretch there. Okay, notice the feet have not stacked. So right now what we're doing is we're starting to open up the stretch of the chain of medials to our side, and we're stretching just a little bit across the obliques. And so we're going to do this as an active stretch, which means we're going to move it actively as opposed to holding it. You want to find your breath, be relaxed, good breathing in and out. Be mindful, nothing should be painful. If it is, don't do it. We're not trying to create any kind of pain. We're just getting some energy, some circulation, some fluid to the joints as you move side to side. So beautiful, releasing. It actually can massage across that sacral area as well. And we're just going to do that a couple more times. So this is just, once again, getting some fluid to those joints in the hip area. All right, so let's come back to center. And you'll notice that the feet were close to the heels and the knees were lower than my hips. Now, though, we're going to bring the knees closer to the chest, closer in. I'm still not going to go to try to round my back flat. I'm staying in pelvis neutral. Pelvic neutral is where we would like to stay for this whole position. But this time, the feet are together, the knees are together, and the knees are closer to the shoulders or chest than they were on the first one. This is going to be a completely different stretch. So we're going to try to take those legs over to the side. The feet are stacked, the knees are stacked, and now you're going to feel a completely different stretch going more through the back side of the body, through the glutes. And then if your arms are out by the sides, you're going to feel this across the chest significantly. If you're really tight in the back, this is going to be a challenge. To be very gentle with yourself, be very mindful. Don't ever push through pain. We're just looking for a gentle stretch. Now, to move those legs, we want to activate the core, not the back. Utilize your abdominal chain to carry those legs to the other side. This is the stretch once again. So we're still staying in neutral spine. I'm not rounding my back. In fact, I still have my tail, my imaginary tail that I am wanting to make sure I don't crush. So as you stretch here, this is a very, very deep stretch through the glutes, all the way across up the chest. This is a beautiful stretch. Now, we can make this active, but I want you to be very mindful that when you do the side-to-side motion, your abdominal chain is completely turned on. In fact, you can even push with your glutes to do this. This is another one. It's a beautiful massage for those sacral area muscles across the iliac crest, across through the glutes. We want to make sure we're not going into rounding. When I'm saying rounding, this is where your back is overstretched. I want you to imagine having something under there so that the back has its natural arch supported. And that's what we want to keep. We want to restore that. We want to repair it if it's been so fused that it's stuck in that C position. So that's what we're working on. All right, we'll do one more on each side. Make sure you're breathing. And then we'll go ahead and stretch the next piece. Start to walk a little bit there, scooch back. What you want to do with this next one is take the ankle and place it on the knee. That's going to open this out, but our pelvis remains in neutral in everything we do, even side to side. So if your pelvis, because you lifted your leg up and you were tight, if it rocked your pelvis out of alignment, come back into alignment before you go. Principle of Yogilachi is alignment first. We want alignment, correct activation, correct mobility of the joint, correct stability. This is what we're working on. So we've got a good, strong, stable lumbar. Once again, this stretch is coming from the hips, not from your back. So the back is not doing anything. It's safe. The abdominal chain is strong and protecting the back. And we're just stretching through those hips. So if you'll notice now, I'm taking this in, this is active. And then let's make it a little bit more passive by bringing the hands in. We're still doing a little active work with our own body. You can take your right elbow and press to the inside of that right thigh. You can even extend this and go into the hamstring. Oftentimes the hamstrings being really tight will keep that back in pain. So we look for correlations in the body when we find chronic pain. We're going to look for chronic patterns of imbalance, tightness. There's many things that we can do to eliminate pain and to keep ourselves pain-free without a lot of drugs and surgery. Look, I'm not against that, but it's a last resort, really, because there's so much we can do to repair the body. All right, this is a beautiful stretch for that hip. We'll unwind those legs. We'll go to the other side, and we'll take that ankle on the knee. We're going to open the knee out. To open the knee out is not from the pelvis. The pelvis is remaining stable. It's from the hip ball socket joint, but you're very gently opening your knee, and you're keeping strong and stable at your center, coming in, hands to the thighs. And then we can either make this active. Remember that hinge at the hip is mobile. The stability comes from your abdominal chain. And then if you like, you can hold that static and extend through the hamstring to get a beautiful stretch. Finding deep breaths once again. How are we doing? Okay. So we want to remember, we can circle ankles. There's lots of beautiful things that we can do here. If you're feeling any kind of pain in the back, ensure that your abdominal muscles are on first. Ensure that your glute muscles are on after that. And then as you come through this, we can unhook. And let's do the next piece, and that is butterflies. So we'll just take these active. We'll start with the bottom of the feet together. And then as you bring the feet back up, the feet will go flat to the floor. Once again, pelvic neutral. So we're going up into our butterflies, active little butterflies. Pelvic stays neutral. Good couple of breaths in there, and we'll finish these. And then we can also just do a little bit of a passive hold where gravity can do a lot of that work for us. And then if we extend our arms, this is a beautiful stretch. Once again, we haven't changed neutral spine. We've got a good zip up and we're active in our pelvis. And then we're going to bring the feet back flat to the floor and relax right there. All right, I hope that helps. This is a beautiful entertainment for us, right? Always exercise under your competent healthcare practitioner's advice, and this is for entertainment purposes only, and yeah, all of that good stuff. In the meantime, you know, moving your body is so vital. We want to make sure we don't get stuck in one position for long periods of time doing whatever we have to be doing. The body will just start to deteriorate. Science tells us after 20 minutes, the body starts to deteriorate. So try to get in the habit of moving some way, doing a walk, doing a stretch, doing a sit break, doing a stand break if you're standing for longer. If you're stuck in one position for longer than 20 minutes, the body starts to break down. So encourage your lifestyle to be more about moving throughout the day, not just doing an exercise and checking it off your list, but instead knowing that your body's meant to move. It's this beautiful, alive, vibrant machine that loves to be moved in healthy, aligned, good ways. And I hope that helps. All right, I will see you tomorrow. Happy Monday.